You're listening to the Claret and Big Blue podcast on the Pass the Gravy podcast network.
Damn, Daniel.
And here we go.
And we are live.
We'll do it live.
Welcome everyone to Claret and Big Blue, probably the only podcast on the internet dedicated to West Ham United and the New York Giants. That's right, football and football balls. Where everyone stays, I am Mike Fish, and I am joined as always by Mr. Alex Middleton. Alex, how you doing, buddy?
Good. It's been a minute, man. I feel like I hadn't seen you in a while. I haven't.
A few weeks. When did we celebrate 100? 3 weeks ago?
Is this 101?
This is 101.
Oh damn, yeah. I feel like we just had shit come up, like where it was like, I know last week was on me. I had something I had to go do, and then I don't know. Like last week I had to move up my podcast, so I had to record Past the Gravy a day early, and I was like, sorry, my bad. And then the other 2 weeks, it was just like the Giants signed Paris Campbell. And I think we might even talk about that on episode 100. But then it was like, oh, yeah, we were like, well, West Ham's on a break. Nothing's really breaking in the Giants news. There are draft shows out there. And I was talking to Mike about this a little bit before. I was like, we're just not going to be your – what are your thoughts on this 16th possible receiver in the draft out of Arizona State? He's a transfer out of Central Michigan. Do we think he's going to maybe follow the Giants in the 7th round? I was like, I don't care. Like, I will do what I did last year, and I will look up 100 mock drafts before we do our draft coverage episode. And I will tell you, this is who this many people said. These will be the people. Remember, I, with 100% accuracy, predicted that we would draft Evan Neal and Kayvon Thibodeau, even though I threw their names in with like 26 other people. I was like, these guys, two of them will be Giants. And I was right. So I'm 100% on this show predicting Giants draft picks.
But yeah, like I'm not a college football
I'm not
guy.
shitting on that. I'm not shitting on people that do cover it. It's just like I stress out over the Giants enough during the regular season. I don't need to stress out over like, oh man, like I really hope that we can get this linebacker out of Florida, bro. Like if we can do that, that would be sick. And like I don't have that much time to stress out over it. You know, I need to focus that on the regular season. This is the off season. I want to be optimistic. Anybody we draft is going to fucking be nails. That's what we're going to say. Remind me to do that on the draft night. Just quote tweet, like fucking nails, stud,
Nails.
Best pick of the draft, steal. And people
Yeah, unless
like, this guy knows
ESPN
draft.
Unless ESPN wants to pay me like six figures, I'm not researching players that might never wear a Giants jersey. I don't care. I don't care.
Not shitting on people that do. We are just a podcast that talks about Giants and like the players on the team. And sometimes you're like, Odell, okay, hey, he's on the Ravens. Tight. I'm honestly glad that he's on the Ravens and not like a team we hate. So like that's cool. But
We are the ghost of Giants past and present. We don't fuck with the future.
Yeah, it's like if they may never play on the team, like I don't care.
So Max wants all the players from UK. Well, isn't it like I wouldn't mind some more Kentucky players on the squad, but
Wandale, yeah. I mean, if we could get some other Wildcats to compliment him, hopefully we'll get Wandale back next year. We got a pretty solid wide receiving core. If you want to start with Giants talk, because there's not really a ton, but we're gonna win the Super Bowl obviously because did you see that they're just hanging out in Arizona, just guys being dudes? Danny's like, oh, all the new receivers, you guys want to just Darren Waller? You want to go to Arizona?
play some golf?
You guys want to hang out and just run some routes, practice for the season? I mean, these are unofficial workouts, but like, let's all work out together. That's what fucking Tom Brady and Julian Edelman did. That's what the fucking Patriots did when they were winning Super Bowls. Guess what? We're gonna be like them. And then when we're winning Super Bowls, we're gonna be like, hey, remember when they were in Arizona in late March, early April? Remember that? Look at those guys.
He's frolicking.
Just muscle memory. Is that a bird?
Can you hear that?
It sounds beautiful. It's like I'm at the Masters.
I think there is. We do have lots of nature around here, and it's still through the masters of working towards summer and daylight savings. The birds are still out, full force.
It would be funny if you were
Popping up
just
my
like
shit.
pumping bird noises and like to make it seem like Augusta. Change your background to make it look like you're just at a golf course.
Well,
You have a college
here.
shirt on. And so what we got now is we're going to be talking about the Giants and how they're going to win the Super Bowl because Daniel Jones got the receiving core and Saquon out there to run routes during the offseason. Nailed it with that prediction.
I just have it in my head like that scene from Zoolander where they're in that Jeep and it's all having fun.
And then they're just having
die in a freak
innocent gasoline fight. Yeah.
Turn your cars off, people, before you fill up the tank.
Fuck, dude. People don't do that. Apparently, you're allowed to do it. Apparently, there's not a big deal. And we're idiots. But it's like, I don't know, man. Well, the combustion engine turned this into that, and it won't spark with the vapors, and it prevents this because of that. And I'm like, hey, man, all I know is it says on the sign, like, turn it off, or else it could blow up. And I'm like, hey, the odds like 1 in a million that might blow up the gas station. I can be like, you know what? I can just turn it off. Just turn that back.
But it just weigh up the pros and cons. Like for the sake of just turning off my car for a couple of minutes, there's zero chance of me blowing up.
Off, and then you
that's fine. I'll just do that.
On, back on, and then go, and nobody blows up. That's the discussion I had. If you know.
I have the wonders of living in New Jersey, so I'm like, as soon as I just pull up, they just tell you, turn off the car. Okay.
Yes. Oh yeah. I guess they have to make sure
they have to have that like 70-year-old man just slowly shuffling around, filling up your tank.
Is it always old people? It seems like it'd be like high school age kids.
Person do it.
Seems like it'd be like a high school
area
job.
that I'm in. But yeah,
doesn't it make sense? Like that would be like a ice cream scooper, not shitting on people that scoop ice cream, but like that seems like it's like a part-time after high school job.
I don't know, because the only reason is because obviously there's a lot of cash involved. Do you want to trust like a 19-year-old with like hundreds of dollars worth of bills in his pocket?
I mean, but like that's what like if you work at Sonic, do you have Sonics up there? Do you know what Sonic is?
I think.
Okay.
With those creepy, do those two creepy guys still sit outside in the parking lot?
Dude, no, they don't. They don't. But like that was annoying. That was an annoying run of commercials. But yeah, like you just pull in and it's like a drive-in, but like you still gotta like all these high school kids deal with that. My brother worked at Sonic in high school. It's like you're still dealing with bills. You work at any like restaurant or anything like that, you're dealing with bills. Seems like it'd be easy. Like let's put these kids out there, let them do it. They're young.
But I feel the vibe around here is always like, well, this gas station's been in my family 70 years. My grandfather worked here, my papa worked here, and now I worked here. It's all kind of that kind of vibe.
Are they like you don't have like Exxons? It's just like Billy's Gas. You go to Billy's gas station, and you're just like what?
Name brands, but it's kind of like because like through my Bank of America app, it's like offering me a slight discount if I go to Shell. I think I'm like I'm not going out my way to find that. I'll just go to the fucking Gary's down the street.
Dude, I used to do an ad on the morning show. Obviously, we'll clip this later, but and they don't sponsor me anymore. But I used to do an ad for like it was like you would go on and get the app, and it would show you like where the cheapest gas was around you. And I was like, that's fucking awesome. And so many people were like, dude, save me so much in gas over the year. And I'm like, that's what's up, bro. And like I'm happy for people to do that. But like to me, it's like I'm not gonna drive 10 more minutes to get gas that's 80 cents. I mean, even if it's like 80 cents off, it's like I get that adds up in my dumb brain. I'm just like, I just want to go home, man. Like this, like there's a gas station I avoid at all costs unless like it's like an absolute emergency. But like by where I work, they have one where they just are like, all right, what's the other gas station down the way? And they just mark it up like almost $1. And it's just because it's like prime real estate and they just know people pay for it because it's full all the time. So there's people who just like, I gotta get gas. This is right off the highway. So like I always am just like, we're not going to that fucking Chevron. But other than that, I'm like, gas station over here. I'm pulling in. Let's go.
Yeah, I just see when I'm at like. Are you a guy like? How far down towards the E do you allow your gas tank to get?
It kind of depends. I have it where it gets like low, and then when the gas thing comes on, I'm kind of like, all right. Like next time I pass a gas station, I'll be like, I don't really have like a big commute. Like I'm very lucky. I have like within 5 miles of my job, so it's like I kind of have the same. Like I went camping 2 weeks ago, and I came back. I had to get gas when I was coming back, and then I haven't had to refill since then, just because like my route is kind of the same. Like I had like slightly below half a tank when I got back that weekend. And like I Uber sometimes when I go other places if I know I'm drinking, but like to work and back and then to like the grocery store is all within the same like 5 mile radius. So like I'm pretty lucky about that. But like when I get like when the light comes on, like I'll ride it when it's pretty low on E. But when the light comes on, I'm like, all right, like let's start looking. Next gas station will pull into. How
See, I used to be like that.
Super low.
But when like gas prices suddenly just went rocketed up, it was ridiculous for a while. That like the filling it up kind of freaked me out because of how much it was going to cost. So I would always like, as soon as it started, where it stays at full for a while, and then it starts coming down. I'd be like, fuck it, just top it up. So just make me feel better. Put gas in. Oh, it cost me $5.
Yeah, just get like they're like. All right, sir. Thank you. They're like, you didn't even need gas. Like, it's cool. Don't worry about it.
So I was always. Do you ever play the game? I know this is great gasoline talk here.
I like petrol. I like calling it petrol. Talking petrol with the lads.
Petroleum. Do you ever play the game? Because I know you fill it up yourself. But do you ever play the game like when you pull in? You kind of like, okay, before I start, this is gonna cost me $26. Go, and you guess before you start filling it up.
Sometimes I kind of do a mental thing. I don't ever make it the game, but what like you don't get the joy of having the game is like getting it right on a dollar, like on a specific dollar. You're like, oh, it's at like $26.76, and you're like, 27 equal. Let's go. Sometimes you get it right on like, it was 9 gallons, right at 9 gallons. Like you don't understand the rush that you get when you, and maybe once or twice in your life, a man or woman will get to see they hit equals on both. And that's just perfect. I had it happen one time in my life, and I will always remember it.
I had to fill up.
I was a young lad in college.
I was out of state in Vermont. Doesn't matter, but I had to fill up my own gas tank, and I was playing that game, and it went from 98 to 0-1. I was like, fuck.
But then you got to do a full dollar to get back. Like you just got to, and then it's like spilling out of your car, and you're like, well, I had to get it equal. Oh, fuck, now it's another $1, and then you're like, damn it, dude. They're like, you were just pouring gas onto the concrete, buddy. Stop. It's fine.
I did get annoyed at a Jersey person. Yeah, because when the thing clicks and it says, right, you've had enough gas, and then that's when you kind of do the couple extra to get it up. This guy, it ended in a 14, and then he gave a couple of extra pumps to make it up to like 36. I was like, what are you doing?
No, they should have to refund you like the cents that like it cost you after that. It's like, no, I get whatever's left of that $1. That's on you, dude. Yeah.
But if you put it up to it as round zero, fair enough. I understand that. But don't just fuck with my shit like that. What the fuck?
That would be a good like scam to run, like a Nathan for you. Not a scam, but like a promotion where it's like if you don't get it right on the number, then we give you the difference in whatever you go over on that number is. And it's like it'll always be like 22 cents max. But like then you're gonna get guys that are really attentive that are doing it, so they're gonna get really good at just timing it out. And even if they go over, you'll be over by like 5 cents. And then people will go to your gas station and try and be like, I'm gonna get over on these people. And it's like you won, but you won less than $1. So congratulations.
So what you're saying is like if it comes to like 26.53, we just charge them 26.
Right, but like the guy filling it up, since like Jersey, you have to have somebody fill it up for them. Like that guy's job is to make sure that
so if he fucks up, you don't.
It's like that guy makes sure that it's $22 exactly or 21, whatever it is exactly. But if he goes over and he can't get it to like the next dollar within like one try, he gets like one fuck up, and then he's got to get to the next dollar. Then you get whatever the change is that he goes over with. So if he goes 22.08, then you get the 8 cents, and people will be like, all right, yeah, we'll show them as like you saved 8 cents. Like you made 8 cents. Tight. You can lose that in the long run. And then the people that you hire will just get really good at doing that because like you just don't keep them if they suck at it.
And I'd be a dick. I wouldn't say, oh, we'll just charge you $27. I would make the person, congratulations, you won. Here's 8 pennies. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, still, right? Like it's one of those where it's like the juice isn't really worth the squeeze, but a lot of people will do a lot of things if they think they're getting the like, I'm getting that store. Like if you're a pizza place that can say like we're gonna deliver within an hour or it's free, like people always will use your pizza place because they'll be like, well, there's no way they'll be able to find me, but you're guaranteeing that you're going to do it, so they're gonna be like, this is priority, go get it out here, and like that just incentivizes people.
Does that count? Like, do they have to deliver it to your hand or to your house when they do that kind of promotion?
They haven't really done stuff like that for a long time. Just with like the internet and everything. But like, I think that my mom would talk about in college that she would always get it because she had a really weird like apartment that looked like it was another apartment. So they would go to the wrong place and they'd always be late. But I think that they had to be like knock at your door and like hand the pizza to you. Typically, that's what they do with like delivery pizza though.
Because if they've ever did that, just sit in your car and hide.
Yeah, no, like I'm at the house. I'm sure you had to like help him, but like, yeah, I don't know how we got here. But it was fun.
It was fun. And how am I looking? Because StreamYard's telling me my connection is unstable, even though it's
I think it looks fine.
Fucking StreamYard, get your
StreamYard. What are you doing? What are you doing, StreamYard?
Like, let me Wi-Fi speed test. But I'm at like 300 plus megabits per second. Come on,
which seems like a lot to me. Not that I'm a megabit head, but
well, that's a download. What's the upload? Upload. Oh my god, uploads need 200. StreamYard, you're lying to me.
It's amazing.
Amazing Grace. So what have you been up to other than that in the last? Did you watch WrestleMania? That happened since we last spoke.
I did not watch WrestleMania. I saw you did. I saw Waffle Box was discussing. You had like an extra podcast, didn't you?
We did a special episode where we which do you ever kind of do that thing where you kind of organize, oh, we're gonna record at this time on this night, and then moments before you kind of like, I really wish we weren't gonna do this because I'm pretty drunk.
Yeah,
it's pretty late.
Yeah, or like when we do like the West Ham games at like 4 a.m. and we're like, we should get up and do this Tottenham game. Although we've been very lucky, like, or the Giants Packers game where we were both like, Pat was like, I can't wait because I'm gonna fucking watch my team beat the shit out of yours, and we're like, we're gonna just get to sit here quietly and drink coffee and just watch our team just get shit pumped. And then it went the exact opposite way. And we were like all jazzed up about it. It was like that's fun when you get into it, but it's like live streaming a game where you're not happy with what's going on, or I guess wrestling that doesn't go really that way. But like, yeah, I understand the feeling of like when I do that Big Brother podcast, sometimes you're just like, man, I really wish I could just like go to bed right now. But we're gonna recap this episode for an hour, then I'm gonna stay up another hour editing it and putting stuff up.
But West Ham have never lost since we've live streamed, and the Giants are 1-0. So
we may have to do like a season-saving live stream of some of the last couple of games if things get dire with West Ham. Hopefully they won't. I feel like things are looking up if we want to use that as our transition into a little West Ham chat. Because I think we
head
should,
over into the West Ham chat. Let's just appease Alex O. And let's give him this week's joke of the day.
The joke of the day.
So,
this
ham sandwich walks into a bar and orders a drink. And the guy behind the bar says, "Sorry, we don't serve food here."
The joke of the day.
You
That
can
one wasn't that
100%
bad.
tell.
That one wasn't
No,
that
it
bad.
wasn't bad for like a quick 30 seconds search before
Yeah,
we
no, you
went
got
live.
in, you got out. All right. You know, like, so Alex, you ever given blood? I'm like, I don't know what you want me to say back to this, Mike.
That was a good one, though. That was a good one.
That was in and out. All right. Let's
Crayons,
I can endorse it if we're gonna do more of those. Every website you got it from, stick to that site. Maybe get a couple more for them.
That was actually from Reader's Digest.
Well, they digest a bunch of reading, so they're good at it. So you know it's
Good
good.
at it. All right, West Ham. Holy moly.
I feel like we should just agree quickly that we're just not going to talk about the Newcastle game because that game was stupid.
Agreed.
Like, fuck Newcastle. Oh, really? The third best team in the league? You thought we were going to beat them, but a team that's fighting for relegation? Like, fighting off. Yeah, right. Like, okay, sorry. We had a real game we had to play against Fulham, a real squad.
That was pretty brutal. But
Yeah, it was.
I mean, if we look back at that,
But that was one we didn't go in thinking we were going to win, right? Like, we were like, oh, probably not going to win. And it went. I didn't fit. I watched the first one. We were losing. I think it was 2-0. And I was just like, I'm not watching the rest of this. And I was like, oh, 5-1, good. I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, wasn't great. But looking back in the last month and a bit, let's be positive.
Positive.
We beat AEK Larnaca 2-0. We drew with Villa 1-1. We beat Larnaca 4-0. We beat Southampton 1-0. Then we lost to Newcastle. But then we beat Fulham. On paper, it's not a bad.
We're hot. We're pretty hot.
So hot
honestly.
right now.
And then Mike, remind me, I forgot. We're in the Europa Conference League, right? We're in the Premier League and we're in the Europa Conference League still. How
Correct.
many we've lost how many games this year in the Europa Conference League?
That'll be a big fat 0, my friend.
That's good, right?
That is good. Let me
seems like we're trending up then. Trending up.
A friend of mine just texted me to let me know he's drinking beer in the bath. That's nice.
Classy, honestly.
Yeah. I'll be doing the same later. Anyway, yeah. So hot right now. Let's quickly talk about the Fulham game though. That was
weird.
That was tough to watch.
It was tough. Like I don't like the thing that we do all season long where we're just like, hey, what would be cool is if we just gave them possession of the ball for like the whole match and then just let them kind of almost rail off shots, but then relied on our back four to just kind of get their bodies in the way. And honestly, like we've given us some PKs that were stupid, but like when you looked at like this Fulham game, and I'm kind of getting ranty here because I kept thinking it and I was watching it and I had to be kind of quiet because it was an early game here and like I was watching at home, but like there's like we shit on the guys that get the peak, they give out the PKs because of the handballs and whatnot, but like we're asking like Zuma and all of them to do so much shit where like without them there, I think they saved 3 goals at least that were like Fabianski would have maybe got to one of them, but Zuma had 2 that were just like that guy was the reason that they didn't score on us. And like we have those back four are so just like you better have a good day today because if you don't, we're fucked. And it's like the games against Newcastle, we're just fucked. Like it's not going to go well. And against Arsenal, probably not going to go well. But against Fulham, like they did their job. They did their job. Fabianski made a couple of awesome saves. And you know we got lucky when we needed to get lucky. And was Bowen got credit for the goal? I know it was an own goal, but like Bowen's goal seemed like that was strategic. He knew what he was doing. It was a pinball move.
Yeah, if I remember the pinball, I think if any West Ham player was going to get that would have been probably Antonio because he was right there when the guy kicked it into his own net. So I think, but Bowen, yeah, he celebrated as if he'd scored like a 30-yard screamer.
There's Harrison Reed got the credit, got the own goal for it. But I mean, I thought because like Bowen hit basically like he saw what he was going to do. He saw he didn't have an opportunity to pass. Like you could kind of see it processing as he's making it happen. He's like, All right, I want to pass it now. No, nothing's available to Antonio. That guy's foot's there, and he just like it's like in basketball when you don't want them to get out of bounds. You're like, I'm gonna push the ball off you. Like he just did that exact same thing except to win in the goal. So I think maybe he was playing for the corner in that instance, but it was like he got it just on the inside of it, and I don't know. I mean, that was an own goal. Like, yeah, I get why, but I felt like Bowen knew what he was doing there. So I think we got to give some credit to Bowen on that one. He's had a rough season. So credit where credit's due.
Well, they've all had a rough season, Jesus. So another player who's had a rough season, but I will like you get all the plaudits for the rest of the year because of this one thing. That save from Fabianski when Pereira was through 1-on-1. Holy crap.
He extended, he got him to kick it, and then he just got a fucking fingertip on it, dude. That was, I was like, damn it. I was yelling at my TV, just like, no, this is so West Ham. It was so, I was waiting for that West Ham moment that entire time. Off that corner at the very end, I was kind of like, we're going to give up the tying goal. Like, we shouldn't be winning this, right? And then we stopped him every single time. And it was the guys that we rely on. Like, I feel like a lot of times, like we were saying, with like if you want to parallel the two teams we cover here, like the Giants where they laid on Saquon too much and they had to kind of be like, maybe we need to open it up with Danny a little bit to get this offense going. I think that there's so many times this season that West Ham has been like, Fabes or Areola and you back four, it's up to you guys. We're going to give you absolutely no offensive support. The only goal that we got technically was off of the other team, so they scored on themselves. But really, it was like -1-0 is what the score was if you look at it like that. Like, I don't know. There's the lack of offense all over the place with West Ham is incredible. And there were a couple of good saves. I thought we could have scored 2 or 3. But that's how the game goes. That's how the game goes.
It was really bad. I was just looking back, talking about relying on our defensive players. So, own goal to beat Fulham. Aguerd scored our 1 goal against Southampton. Kurt Zuma scored our 1 goal against Newcastle. And then against Villa, Ben Rama scored a penalty. Other than that, geez, like what the fuck? And yeah, the 23% possession, all in all.
Yeah, no, that's what we did. Just gave it to him and just hoped that we could defend him, and we did. But that's not like that's why you're fighting off relegation at this point in the season, because you just like I felt like Burnley did that a couple of seasons ago where they were like, you know what, we're just gonna hope that we can draw 0-0 because we have 0 offense, and we're just gonna hope we can just suffocate you defensively. And that didn't work well for them. Like they almost got relegated that year, and it's one of those things. They did get relegated. Did Burnley get relegated?
Sure.
What am I thinking? Well, Burnley is not in the league. Yeah, they did.
They did get relegated.
Yeah, but that was their mentality. See, I was right. I knew what I was talking about. This wasn't 100% sure. I feel like they just got promoted. If I want to go look that up, which I will now. I will go look it up, but you, Phil, until I do that.
But yeah, it just seemed like we was in a situation where it was kind of like, as soon as we got that goal, the mentality was everyone retreat, everyone back behind the ball. Let's just try to guard this 1-0 lead. Somehow we've got a lead. And it was just so miserable to watch because it was just constantly them on attack. Pretty much, you just felt, here it comes. This is gonna be it. Every time they got the ball, here it comes. They're gonna score now. Fuck's sake!
They're right back again. It's an odd break. Another odd break. One more odd break. Like that was 100% what it was.
Or we just get the ball and then just punt it up. So, brilliant. That's how we're gonna keep the ball. Brilliant.
Burnley is promoted. They've officially
they're crushing the championship.
Yeah, 90 points. Second place is 76.
You've been keeping up with old Ryan Reynolds' Wrexham. They're doing well.
I don't have to keep up. I just see that ESPN like covers that. It's like, dude, can you imagine if they're like covering a high school team, right? Like that's kind of like it's cool that they're owned by them, and like I don't hate Wrexham, but like they get to the Premier League, fuck them. They're like 5 leagues below us, and they were like covering it on SportsCenter this morning, like it was like the big game. Can we get some MLS?
Well, to be fair, in
like
that league, it was the big game. But yeah, why is ESPN?
There's the top 2. But like in England, do you watch like below League One?
Oh, unless I'm ridiculously bored and I've got nothing else to do, I would maybe. Oh, there's a championship game on. I might watch that. But I'm not unless it's a good game between two. Like Man City versus Liverpool. That would be a good game. I'll watch that. But other than that, I very rarely watch anything other than West Ham. I don't have enough like energy.
I do see Millwall is sitting 5th in the championship.
That'll be nice when they get to the playoffs and fuck it up again.
That'd be great if they would. So the top 2 go through, right? And then 3, 4, 5, 6 do the playoff, right?
Yes.
So Millwall would face Middlesbrough.
I
always felt like,
tight,
do you feel weird looking at like the championship where you're like, I want these guys to come up? Because I was like, I want a cool team to come up or a team I'm not familiar with. I've watched.
Yeah, I always like. They haven't been
happy
in Premier League
Norwich
before.
isn't doing shit.
Seen them for a while.
Yeah, I don't remember Luton or Middlesbrough. Although if Millwall's up, I think we could beat the fuck out of them, right? Like we just curb stomp Millwall every time we play them.
Yeah, Blackburn. They're ex-Premier League champions, but they haven't been around for a while.
Blackburn Rovers. We have to call them Blackburn Rovers, though.
Blackburn Rovers.
Like the Bolton Wanderers. Bolton Wanderers.
Preston. Coventry. That'd be nice, but they're pretty far out.
Norwich.
No, 3 points out.
I want Sunderland to do well. I like them.
Sunderland. But other than
they just came up last year. They did the double down that 2 years. What if they did the double ups? That would be sick.
Wigan's looking pretty shocking. Bottom of the year.
Yeah,
we're
talking championship. A couple years ago. Never since I have been a Premier Leaguer. I think when I was since I've been a Premier League fan, Burnley, Sheffield, Norwich, West Brom, Watford, Swansea,
Huddersfield, were they in the Premier League at your time?
And Huddersfield was in. I think Huddersfield went down the first year. So those that's like 5 or 6. That's actually quite a few teams. Hold on, let me go through it again. 1, 2. Stoke also. So Cardiff is 1.
How many things can you name?
Welcome to How Many Things Can You Name? How many teams can Alex remember?
8 that I remember, I think.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Proud.
It's crazy how you just go down a league and you just get lost.
Well, I was looking at because I remember Southend United, because they were a localish team to where I used to live. They're like towards the bottom of the National League, the league that Wrexham's pissing. I was like, how the fuck did I get down there? Madness.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, we have got something to. We got Gent on Thursday in the Conference League quarterfinals. All guns blazing. That's what we need to focus on. Because again, I'm not confident still yet that we're safe. Obviously, we're not. However, I am confident that there are at least 3 teams below us that are going to just
right.
Fuck it up for the rest.
That's like kind of what I'm looking at this point. Where let's say I don't really have a lot. Where you're just like, there's teams that are bad. There's teams that are just really bad, and I don't think we're good, but we're not like really bad.
But I tell you what, it's gonna be. I wouldn't be shocked if the 3 to go down are Southampton, Leicester, and Everton, which would be very interesting if they go down.
That would be wild. There's no way that because Everton's just about to get bought, or just did get bought, didn't they?
I don't know, but they've just, I think, broke ground in their brand new, spanking, sexy new stadium. Be hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, 20. So, yeah, I would say like Southampton's probably done. They're pretty much relegated at this point, unless they go on an insane run. How many games we got left? Like 6, Some shit like
So
that.
we have 9 games left. Southampton have 8.
Damn, okay, that's still a lot.
It is a lot.
I
but
still like Southampton's done. We're gonna say Southampton's relegated, okay?
Yeah.
Southampton's relegated. Just like it's weird though, because like when you see Leicester or Everton at the bottom, you're like, they're not getting relegated, right? So then you just immediately your brain makes you think like, okay, so Nottingham and then either Bournemouth or Leeds, right? Nottingham, it's like, what do you do really? What do you do here, really? Huh? I don't care. I can do it. We can do without Nottingham. And then
that would be another funny one though as well. Is it because how much money they spent this year on players? That would be pretty funny.
on Lingard, luckily it was a 1-year deal. They must have known.
Yeah, but where has he been?
I don't know.
Is anyone gonna pick him up after he leaves? So he's done.
Yeah, that didn't go well for him. Leicester going down would be crazy though, just considering like they have won it before, not that long ago. What happened?
I have no fucking idea.
Arlo White would be so pissed.
Oh,
but probably not. He'd just take all the Saudi money.
He can wipe his tears with his blood money.
I mean, if you gave me that kind of money, I would do it too.
Commentating on golf on the CW. I don't even know how I can watch the CW.
Cable.
Well, yeah, I assume
cable.
That,
that's pretty much.
No, I don't watch golf. Fuck that.
Like okay, like it's weird though that we're like that high up though. We're like 14th. Like it feels like we were way lower. I mean, we were. But
well, annoyingly, I was doing the maths. I was like, well, if we win a game in hand, we can go up to 12th. And it's like, oh, I mean, technically, Arsenal isn't our game in hand, but yeah, it'd be really nice if we could win that. But
don't see that happening.
No. Like who we got? So we've got in the Premier League, we've got Arsenal. That's probably a loss.
Win. Bournemouth is a win. Palace
win that. Liverpool
loss. Probably loss.
Palace need to win that.
Win will probably draw. Loss. United loss. Brentford win. Leeds win. Leicester win. Last 3 games. We win our last 3 games. Like
1,
okay.
2, 3, 4.
Dude, that's good.
5,
that's good.
15 points. That takes up to 40. That'll be enough, I think.
40 is where you're safe, right? They always say 40 is the safe. So
yeah, but if you
not
go
always,
back in history, the team with the largest points total to get relegated was West Ham. So yeah, we like to break those records.
Let's not break that record this time.
But he's
a couple of wins, right? We finished.
Look at Nottingham Forest got in their last 8 games. They got Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea aren't good, but Arsenal, and they're playing like teams around them as well. Southampton. So stay positive. We've got to stay positive. We can do this.
Yeah. I think the win on Sunday or Saturday, even though maybe was like not a great game by us, was like we can survive this. If you can beat Fulham, you can beat the Fulhams of the world. You gotta beat the Leeds of the world. Yeah, we can beat those teams. Not the. If we steal one against like United or some shit, that would be awesome. I don't think we will, but if we did, that'd be sick.
Yeah, and as miserable as it was to watch the Fulham game, at this point, I don't care. I don't care if it's entertaining or
keep it up.
We won. That's it. We need those 3 points. Let's just make it to the end of the season and see what happens.
Yeah.
But I mean, the off season is going to be very interesting to see what happens, because I don't know because at this point, is David Moyes just having a bad rap this month? I don't know, a couple of months, because you can't know. Oh, we need to invest in players. We've got a bunch of players, but we're probably going to obviously lose Declan Rice in the summer. So
yeah,
who knows? Do you know what? Hot take. Not that I want him to go, but it might be interesting to see what happens when Declan Rice goes to see if anyone steps up.
Flynn Downs.
Like I don't think it's gonna be a catastrophe when we
Flynn
lose.
Downs. You
Flynn
gotta be
Downs.
so happy. I think about you every time he comes in now. I'm like, Mike's dad. I know he's like firing up the old texts. Good to see Flynn Downs got in. I almost texted you that on Saturday.
Oh, bless my dad. Bless his old soul. But yeah, so
That's
Arsenal,
right.
yeah, I'm not looking for, and
Probably gonna
like I said,
lose. Probably gonna lose that one. That's sad.
and it's one of those lovely early on a Sunday morning.
Or Sunday. Ooh.
Like at least I
Well,
want
we'll be Gent, right? We're awesome.
should be Gent.
We're awesome in Europa League or Conference League.
But then it's like they come thick and fast. So we've got Gent this Thursday, then Arsenal Sunday, Gent on Thursday, Bournemouth Sunday, and then a midweek Liverpool, weekend Palace, midweek City, weekend Man United. It's like
It's pretty chaotic. Pretty chaotic, if you ask me.
and then just we need to get through that and then win our last 3 games. Boom. Nailed
Yeah,
it.
perfect. Perfect. Very doable.
There we go. We've solved the crisis. It's good to be back.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Anything else we can think of?
That's pretty much it, man. What do you got coming up on Waffle Box tomorrow?
Waffle Box. Oof. Whoa, we dive deep into the breaking news where did you see the robots have officially announced their intentions and their plans of how they're going to take over the human race via
That doesn't
Furbies?
sound good. Fuck.
Did you
Didn't
not see
expect
this
that
story?
to be the answer. No, I didn't.
Oh shit! Yeah, a
Did
Furby
not.
literally announced that they're taking over the world and how they're going to do it. So check that out. We're going to dive into that.
Not great.
And then also another story where for some reason snakes seem to really like after snakes on a plane. How many years ago was that? But they're
Was a
bringing it
while ago,
back.
yeah.
Snakes love to fuck with pilots apparently, and we're talking about that. And then Super Mario, it's me Mario. That's coming up in our movie review and much more. So check that out tomorrow at Wafflebox Pod on Twitter and Instagram. How about Pasta Gravy?
We're gonna talk about. I got some business ideas to pitch to the boys. We're gonna talk about how many.
Idea.
I think this is a good one too. We're gonna talk about how many TVs is too many TVs for a living room. The Dalai Lama, he's hot in the streets. I may or may not be running for mayor of Houston, so we're gonna get into a little politics talk on the show. We're gonna do another mock draft, and I think we might do a mock draft of nicknames. Don't know if that's official or not yet, but it's just nicknames to call somebody. Just.
What's it? Just generalize the best nicknames to be called,
Like,
or
hey,
like
sport.
famous people with nicknames?
No, I mean, I guess it could be famous people with nicknames, but I was just gonna say like fun things to just call your friends. I don't know. Maybe that's not it. I don't know. That's not set in stone, but we're doing a mock draft definitely. I got a pretty good, not cool, and we're gonna answer some questions as well. But check out Past the Gravy Podcast tomorrow night. We will put the episode out, and give us a follow on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you listen to podcasts at Past the Gravy Pod. Also, go subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Absolutely, you won't find us on TikTok, but yes, if you're watching on YouTube, links are below where you can subscribe to Wafflebox and Past the Gravy to ever miss an episode and all that good jazz. Make sure you hit subscribe, give us a like, hit that bell to fuck with the algorithm, expose more poor souls to this nonsense. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. Sis, that's your Wednesday sorted. Wafflebox in the morning or the early afternoon, Past the Gravy in the evening. It's the best way to spend Wednesday. Get over that hump and hump.
Yes, it is.
But until next week, don't forget.
Seahorses forever.
We'll see you next Tuesday.
Hey, let's go to Peyton. He's going to break down that touchdown. Can't hear shit. Never mind.